So I want Maria. Where's Maria? If you come. Just grab the mic. And she has an amazing testimony. Come, stand right over here, Pastor Allen. I didn't know where you were. I thought you got raptured or whatever. Okay. Come. It's good to be seen. Otherwise, I don't know where anybody is. Come, Maria. Tell the people what the Lord did for you.
Okay.
She's from Finland, from Helsinki.
Oh, Finland, yay. Hi, my name's Maria. Okay. He told me to pray in the Holy Spirit, so I've been praying since 9 a.m. So that's 3.5 hours. Okay. Okay. So I was a few days ago. I was in the media room with my friend Zariah, and she asked me when I got saved. And first, because I'm a pastor's kid, so it felt kind of bad because most pastors' kids, they talk about how when they were 4 years old, they were like coming to the altar, and when they were 6, they were filled with the Holy Spirit. And I'm like, I came to the altar like in kids club and kids church, but when I thought about like when I actually like truly started like kind of like living as a Christian and really like being a Christian, being saved, then that would have to be like March during this year during Women's Conference. I came from Finland here during March. The past year, 2020 in Finland, I guess was not the best year for me. Wow. Man, Lord's good. I had been struggling with a lot of suicidal thoughts. It was a daily thing. I'd think about killing myself like 10 to 15 times a day. It was a constant thought, and it got really, really difficult. So one of my favorite Bible verses that has been with me for a long time has been Jeremiah 29:11. I got my notes so that I don't wonder. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper and not to harm you, plans to give you a future and a hope. So that future and a hope, man, I couldn't feel it. But then in Women's Conference, I was standing over there during worship. And I don't know if it was the first or the second service I was here. I was there with my mom, and we were standing and we were worshiping, and I just felt like a future and a hope, and it was coming back. And it was, where's my notes? Okay. That was the first time I had a revelation on a Bible verse, and when something from the Bible really like came real to me and it like made sense, because there's some big words in there. So when I thought about it. It came to mind during worship. Give you a future and a hope, and I felt that future and I felt that hope, and I thought I have a future, I have a hope. I'm not gonna die. I'm gonna live. It was. Oh, my hand's shaking. It's hard to read my notes. So I came here for my parents were like, yeah, go learn about media. So I was editing there in the media. I was editing with the media, and one of the first things they told me to edit was the Youth Fire Week testimonies from the previous week. So I was trying to stay composed because I had to go through all those testimonies, and I was editing them, color correction, all those fun stuff. So I had to I was sitting in my seat and I was just laughing, but I tried to hold it together because it's one of my first things I'm doing here. I want to make a good impression, so I know how to edit. But I'm just laughing there because they're so good. The testimonies from last year, I watched not all of them are published, but I've seen them all. They're so good. They're just, so I had my expectations up for Youth Fire Week. I was like, this is gonna be great. Yeah. Oh, and yeah, at this point in time, I barely had suicidal thoughts anymore. It just didn't happen. So that's when I was already set free from that. Okay, but one thing that had been kind of consistent throughout my time here had been self-harm, because during the previous year, when stuff got stressful, then for some reason, I found a lot of pain, not pain, I found a lot of peace in pain. So my main go-to thing whenever things got stressful would be pain, so that I'd hit my arm against the corner of a table or I'd cut myself, and then I'd feel at peace again. And it would be calm, which that's kind of weird, but I don't know, it somehow worked like that. So when people would pray for me over it, and then I'd be good for a few days, but there would always be the urge, and it would always kind of be an appeal towards it. I'd always feel the minute something is stressful, because my parents weren't back in Finland, so the minute anything got a bit stressful, then I'd always kind of okay, well, there's that. So, but at the same time, it was like, because I want to live all the way for Christ, I want to do great things, I want to go to Bible school, and I have a future now, I can't be like falling back into like, I don't want to be like, I don't want to be like doing like things for God, and then when I go home, I get stressed, and then I hurt myself. Like, that's not right. So when Youth Fire Week came up, I was like, that's it. My expectations were high. I'm going to get stuff free. It's going to be great. So that entirety of the Youth Fire Week, I just kept getting touched, and I just kept receiving, and there was just so much peace in the presence of God that by the end of it was like Sunday night, I realized that I hadn't cut myself that entire week. It wasn't even difficult. It had always been, whenever I tried to stay away from it, it was always like somewhat hard because there was always an appeal, but there was no appeal anymore. I was sitting there on Sunday night, and then I thought about it. I don't want to hurt myself. I don't want to do that anymore. Because the peace that you get from the presence of God is just not describable to the peace that you got from that. It's on another level. So I was...
Now talk to this generation. Tell them they can be free.
Where's my notes? I was in healing school. I've been in healing school. I went through like half of a week the first time, and then I switched countries. So now I'm back again. I'm going to do all 2 weeks. So I switched countries for like a few weeks. I got to see my family. It was great. But so I came back. I'm in healing school again. And this last week, it was like Wednesday. They were singing a song. Set my feet on solid ground. So I was like, I tapped my feet, and I was like, I'm here, I'm alive, I'm here. Back in December, when I had 30 pills in my hand, I didn't take them back when I was gonna, the amount of times, when I was like standing on the street waiting for a bus, and it was so hard to not jump in front of something. I'm here. I couldn't imagine myself making it to 2021. I couldn't imagine myself turning 17. I'm in 2021. I'm 17 years old. I'm starting Bible school in January. I'm turning 18 in March. I'm going to live.
Right now that are watching, that are dealing with this same thing, what would you say to them?
Even if you like forgot what it feels like to have hope, and you can't feel like there's a future, there really is. And it's in God, and it's in His presence. It's just so much better than you could. Religion, it's not, please ignore the religion. It's weird, it's dumb. But God and His presence, it's just so amazing, and it can change your life, and it can give you peace, and it can give you joy, because it's in your spirit, it's in you. And when you get saved, it unlocks, and then you can access it, and I can be happy every day, and I can have peace. And there's a future and a hope for you. God is amazing. Yeah.